Hello and welcome to Wise Exotics. This is my personal collection of nepenthes that I've been growing, along with even a sun pitcher and a little fly trap. I've got some other ones in the front yard as I've shown prior. So let's start with the loss of the September. My AW2 female Hamada, she just didn't make it. She's been struggling for months, and that's with having no roots, being sold to me unrooted by BO Exotics, stating it was rooted. When I pop it out, there are no roots and it's just a stick and dirt. Yeah, not too handy. Right now I'm airing out these because I just sprayed them with a sulfur-based antifungal, because these are my more sensitive ones. And the reason I'm doing that is the Velosa had a really bad leaf on it. It was scorched, and I trimmed it, and then it started turning black, so I trimmed it again, and I've sprayed it with the antifungal, hoping that will not do anymore. My macrophilia is doing really well, Diabolica is doing well, Velosa is, as I said, doing well, other than that one leaf is doing something weird. The Hamada AW1 is doing perfectly fine. I've put leaf growth on it. Since I've had it, it's grown at least 2 to 3 new leaves. My Edwardsiana cross Raja is doing really well. This one, which is insanely long, I'll just show you the tag. These two are from the same seed box, I'm assuming, because I found that one inside with that one while it's covered entirely, and I keep hitting this with my hand, talking like, with my hands, waving around. This one's doing perfectly fine. Got a new picture finally on it. That's the Algamada Red. I can't say the name. Clippiata, we've got new picture coming on a nice big leaf jump, finally. This one finally gave me Gumniflora across tennis. Finally gave me a picture. So it's kind of neat to see what it looks like. My Vici Loe Mira also got crinkle leaves. Was very scorched on one leaf, so I trimmed it and I put it in a smaller container because it was in this huge one, kind of like that Singulana Diabolica is in. This here is a newer one. It's a Vici Mira cross, and it has a nice big picture, but it arrived damaged, and things happen. Told the seller, he was, well, that sucks. Was it loose? Very loose, and it bounced around. I just uploaded the video of this one. That is a Vici from Bato Buli, which I guess is a rare location. I'm not real familiar with it. It's my normal Vici, so I put them near each other so I can watch them grow in comparison. Peltata has a new leaf tip growing. Go, little Peltata. Squeezing that little picture. My Raja Peltata is doing really well. It's already got at least 1, 2, 3 of these pictures going. This is the most mature one. Very beautiful. Nice red coming in already. If you want to pick up one of these, I believe it's Berg Waters has some for $30, but they're very small. This is a larger plant, obviously. My Raja Ima grew a huge leaf. I still don't know what caused this hole. When it was growing, there was a black tip, and I cleaned it, and then later it just has a hole. So I don't know. Now to talk, these are my original 2 nepenthes. So I had them. See how small they were originally. And this year they put on these huge leaves. Very pretty. They're from predatory plants. They're called Nepenthes Vivid Machines. Very nice. I also made a discovery, and I really am going to just stress this now to others who are buying Nepenthes from Flore. So Flore collab, you will get this if it's a BE one. And if it's from tissue culture, seed grown, whatnot, it's supposed to tell you. So I thought this was a tissue culture, and then you read the little SG. This is one of the seed-grown variants. Because I was looking at this and comparing it to other people, I'm like, wow, that looks a lot more like a Edwardsiana than it should. How interesting. It's very orange. Already got ribbing. It's not going to be as prominent as, say, that one. But it was like, oh, that looks interesting. And I pulled the tag out, looked at it, I really got to read these tags. So I actually have a bunch in here that are apparently seed grown and a bunch that are clones. So, random discovery, check your tags. It's like, This one, if it says TC, that is a tissue culture. If it says seed grown, it's also seed grown. So these are two tissue cultures from them, which one is a seed grown from FC, but it's the tissue culture of that. Similar to this, this was from a seed grown Nepenthes raja edwardsiana that was tissue cultured. So it's a clone, just to verify that to anyone. Let's see. I haven't had any other fatalities. I have another one of these kinds. This is a Spectalis Exvicii from Talar. This was his own personal cross. It's got a nice leaf jump. I like the other one. It had a much redder peristome, and it's a seed sibling of this, so I thought it would be neat. There's a couple others coming. I have a Naga, two more Hamadas. One is an AW4, which that is the confirmed male. I thought it was AW1, but no, AW4 is the confirmed male. Let's see. Oh, I have a Robocantley, a pure seed-grown one. So Robocantley is that species crossed with Ovada on that one. It's similar to how this Clippy is, and they bred two Robocantleys to each other. Let's see. My Ventrata finally grew its second big picture, so yay. I did lose this one, and this is my Balei Loei Vicii. Yeah. But it's got a nice new one in the back, so as I said, I lost one. Let's see this is Columniflora across Burbigii? I can't. I'm just gonna call him Berg. Prior picture is now starting to turn red from the yellow, which is very pretty. It's like almost like a candy red bleeding into it. Maxima, I don't know why I lost that picture. It didn't even start to age, but this one's doing perfectly fine. This one is still not shaping yet, so I'm not sure what's up with that. My first big picture, which I had in a long time, this is my Spectalis Vicii. Doing really well, getting nice red coloring, good stripes, good shape overall. The original one I had in here was very squat, bright red and yellows and red. Very pretty, so I hope since this one's bigger it'll also go that route. Now this is my sun pitcher, the only one I have. I bought it in an auction. It was like $20. They shipped it. It was damaged. It was from Flora, and I was really upset with them because they put rocks down all the tubes, which didn't make any sense to me. I guess they were mad I bought it. I don't know. They didn't reply to me when I sent them a message on it. Anyway, I was really worried about it because the one picture is the only one I've had. The other two were literally torn to shreds. So I'm not really familiar with how this species grew out, but it started to grow a new tip, and this is like only a couple of days in from that, and it's growing fairly well. So it's survived and it's growing, so that kind of made me feel a little better. Let's see. Nothing else really to report. I've put the Hamada AW2 down there for now because I don't want it to infect or disease these, because these are more like precious. The other two Hamadas, I'll probably switch these two out here finally because I have spots for them. I might start another tray down there or in with that tray system. That's about it. Let's see. That should be all that's coming. Is a Naga, a Nepenthes Naga, a Nepenthes, Robocantley, Spectalis Exvicii, and these are all seed grown, mind you. That's, for whatever reason, people seem to prefer doing that. I think it's neat. You get to see a variance of a certain species. I have no complaints if I have seed grown or if I have clones. Clones just give you it'll look like that when it's grown. Seed grown kind of gives you, well, there's a little RNG in here, what it could look like. Similar to how these two look very different from each other. This one has more reds already coming in, where this one is almost pure green, but red tip on one leaf. That's interesting. So, Wise Exotics, that's all we got. If anybody has a question about a specific plant, I'll do a bigger recap when the other plants come in just to show them off, or do a quick little highlight video. Again, if anybody has specifics or asking about temperature, whatnot, my ranges are usually at nights 60 to 50s, low 50s. The lows so far during this part of the year is 57. and then it's 70 to 83, and they all seem to be doing pretty well on that. Most plants have a tolerance within 5 degrees higher or lower than their written amount, so most highland nepenthes can handle down to 35 degrees Fahrenheit. However, I would like to point out anything that's mixed with a Raja or some of those others, such as those, do not like anything below 40. So keep that in mind if you're a newer person at this or whatnot. If anybody is wanting recommendations for a starting plant, Latas are really simple. Ventrata are also really simple. I mean, they grow like a weed. I have this down to here. It's grown this much. It's very fast growing. Highland, very rewarding. Most highlands can also technically be brought in to be intermediate, and that's what I did last winter. Is I bring them into a glass room where it's heated, so it doesn't get below 40. And mind you, I only had like 1 or 2 trays, and that kept them going here. Now, since this year, I've been adding quite a bit more and growing a lot more. I'll have to see how that works out. I'll have to figure out something. Water, I've been using the new water fine, no issues. In fact, I think my plants got a little greener because, as you can see from the sphagnum mosses that are available on some of these, I did little test patches with it on certain ones, and they're coming back. I don't know if it's just also because the heat didn't come in super crazily, because we've been having on-off heat waves, and so it's the rest of the world, mind you. So, as I said, this is just kind of like a documentation videos I do for myself and anyone who really wants to get into this. I'm fairly new at this. I'm not that experienced, but I've been able to handle a bunch of these plants in varied conditions, and slowly just kept going up the ladder of more and more sensitive. My peak sensitive plant is that Diabolica, so that, as well as Northiana, are also very sensitive, but pretty much these are my most sensitive. I don't even risk it with the humidifier. They get a big humidity dome that's right there that I've gone to them. Seedling trays and mini domes are fine. You can also use like a big plastic square container and even put them in there, but like a little fan, and seal up the hole with a silicone. I've seen some people in Japan who do that, as I follow a bunch, and I asked them for tips and advice. A lot of them have been very nice and recommended what plants to go with. So that's all. Thanks for watching, and hope this helps someone.